Well, this is new at 10. The Kimberly Police Department has opened up an investigation to a woman who disappeared in 1939, all because of two family members who never gave up. Here's investigative reporter Alexandra Duggan.
For two cousins, finding their great-grandmother, who disappeared 84 years ago, is all about laying her to rest. Marcia Trotter and Rebecca Hardesty met by coincidence searching for information about their great-grandmother, Clara Agnes Fults, on Ancestry.com.
At one point, I got a message from Marcia through Ancestry.com that said, "Hey, why are you posting pictures of my family on your family tree? That's my grandma. That's my family." And I said, "Well, that's my family. That's my grandma."
The two began working together to find out what could have happened to Agnes all those years ago.
My grandmother remembered her mother. She remembered waking up one morning and mommy was gone. Like, mommy put her to bed the night before and she woke up in the morning and her mother was just gone. Her things were there, her clothes were still there, everything was still there, but mom just wasn't there. And she remembers asking where mom was, and everyone told her to stop asking.
Agnes was born in Tennessee in 1907. She later married her husband Alton, gave birth to her daughter Mabel, moved to Kimberly, Idaho, and gave birth to triplets in 1934. Joe, Joyce, and Julene were instant stars in the local newspapers as Twin Falls County's first trio. The papers covered their every move, but in 1939, all mentions of Agnes suddenly stopped. She even was removed by the Kimberly Nazarene Church as a member. By 1940, she wasn't listed in the U.S. Census. Her husband wrote that he was married but living apart from his spouse. It seemed like no one acknowledged where Agnes went.
When I started researching 25 years ago was, Grandma, why didn't anyone ever do anything? Why was this never investigated? And she goes, I don't know. And I said, well, why didn't somebody pursue it? And she goes, Marcia, we were taught not to ask questions. We were told you don't ask questions and you don't talk about it.
And to the Kimberly Police Department's knowledge, no missing persons report was ever filed. The family eventually moved to Tennessee without Agnes.
Martha Hagerman, my great-grandmother's sister, our great-grandmother's sister, told everyone that she ran off with another man.
Martha's statements about Agnes leaving her family was documented in a Tennessee newspaper on Martha's 86th birthday. Marcia's grandmother, Agnes's daughter, told her she got a strange visit in the 1960s by Silas Givens, Kimberly's police chief.
He came out to their house and he informed them that he wanted her to know that her mother had not run off and left her, that he believed that a family member had killed her and that she was buried underneath a potato cellar.
The cousins even tracked down an old Kimberly resident who believed the same thing.
She knew our grandmothers. She had gone to high school with them in Kimberly, and she agreed to meet with us, and she said every person that she had talked to said that the same thing, that the triplets' mother had been killed and buried under a potato cellar.
It was a common secret that wasn't really a secret. It was an open secret.
Marcia and Rebecca brought what information they had to the Kimberly Police Department in July after 5 years of research.
The information that was provided to us was very thorough, very well thought out. Very appreciative for the information they were able to bring. It sheds a lot of light into the family's backstory and their history.
And it prompted police to do something.
We do have an open investigation into the whereabouts of Agnes, making us think that either she went somewhere else or she went missing and weren't able to figure out where she went.
Do you believe that there's foul play involved?
At this time, it's a little too early to tell.
Detective Alex Arrington is the lead investigator on the case. He's working to find an agency that can use ground-penetrating radar to search places of interest.
The two individuals who brought us all this information did a lot of interviews with family members and things like that, which has led us to that area.
Martha and Rebecca said those areas could be the old potato cellars located under an old park and right in front of the police chief's old home. In the 1930s, Clara Agnes Fults lived in a home on this property with her husband and children. Her family believes she is buried somewhere in a potato cellar close by to the area. At the time of her disappearance, Kimberly's police chief lived just feet away.
You can still see the concrete entrance to one of those potato cellars sticking up from the ground. The police intend to start ground penetrating sonar work to investigate that area.
There still might be hope after 84 years.
I do believe that it's solvable. I think all cases are solvable. I think it just depends on the effort that you put in.
All because of two cousins who found each other by chance.
So how does that feel, knowing that you got the ball rolling in a cold case investigation?
That's kind of an amazing feeling. For the longest time, for 25 years, well, for our whole lives, we were the only people that cared at all about what happened to our great grandmother.
If we don't find her, then we don't find her. There's nothing we can do about that, but we will at least know that we've done everything we can to try to find our great grandma and give her a proper burial.
Alexandra Duggan, Idaho's News Channel 7.